Next day, on November 14th, Marines again are going to encounter some pretty crazy stuff, and they enter one compound, and this Marine Lance Corporal George Payton, he had climbed up this stairway as they're clearing their way through this building. Bust open this door. As soon as the doors opened, this Marine is immediately cut down by enemy fire, and the incoming rounds hit his leg, and basically, according to this account, it's like severed. So he falls to the ground. Now, Lance Corporal Kip Yeager, he's scrambling forward, firing a full mag, dumping a mag into the room, and another Marine, Lance Corporal Mason Fisher, fired over his shoulder. So these two guys, the Marine on the ground injured. These two are advancing in a blaze of gunfire. Now, Yeager pulls Payton back, who obviously was dying from severe wounds of his legs, and half a dozen Marines crouched around him on the stairs, tried to stop the bleeding. Fisher's going to throw a grenade into that room, and then he hears this sound, obviously clunk, and that grenade that he threw comes back out.
Oh, that it's the last thing you want to have happen.
Yeah, and it's bouncing down the staircase. So as this grenade's bouncing,
so real quick, I had something like that happen to me one time. You see in the old timey movies about in training, guys whiffing grenades and all that stuff. I think I've told this story once before in our debrief with Lieutenant Varela.
Yes.
But when you have a grenade bounce back into a room with you, that is one of the worst feelings I've ever felt, ever. Because here's the thing. Those things are made for the U.S. government, and they're made by the lowest bidder, right? One thing you got to remember about everything you use in the military, it's made by the lowest bidder. The fuses are not reliable, right? You could have some that are 3 seconds, some that are 5 seconds. You don't really know. I just know that once the spoon cracks on that thing, the spoon being that metal, the long metal piece that kind of ignites the fuse to this grenade, once that thing cracks, get rid of it and don't let it come back at you.
Right.
Cooking off grenades is something that is done in war, but it is last dire efforts there. You know what I mean? Like, you very rarely cook off grenades. And to be in the middle of a gunfight like that and to have it bounce back into the room with you, man, that is not what you want. Just talk about gut hitting the floor.
Everything, gut hitting the floor, and but the reaction, unbelievable. But anyway, Payton, who's severely wounded in the leg, he's going to catch this grenade mid-bounce as it's coming down the stairs, and he's going to flip it back into the room. They wait for the explosion. Obviously, it happens probably pretty quickly, and then he went back to firing. So he's still severely wounded, but he's still in the fight. He's still in the fight.
Not giving up, man.
An incredible Marine. Another Marine, Lance Corporal Philip Miska. He's going to burst into this dust-filled, crazy room, and what he's going to find is an insurgent laying behind a door, and he's fumbling with a grenade. Now I'm going to quote the next part here. Quote, "With Miska in the line of fire, Yeager leapt on the man, drew his Gurkha knife, and plunged it into the insurgent's neck." End quote.
Savage, dude. That's savage.
So this room, this area, this landing on the stairs, it's just crazy.
But you see that you had the house from hell, then you have this. These are happening on the same day, and they're just two examples of the numerous encounters that U.S. troops are going to have with insurgent fighters that are just like this.
Yeah, it's
just unbelievable. Unbelievable.